Peace, light, and love to you, and welcome to the Braveheart Healing Channel. I am the lovely Kiana Nicole. If you're new to the channel, definitely go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. If you're a frequent individual on the channel, hit the like and subscribe. It definitely helps with the algorithm and pushing my video to the masses so the information can get out to the people, as I am shadow banned. Anywho, wanted to come forth here with some live late breaking news, news that's not being reported on U.S. mainstream news media. This is where I specialize in because, as you guys know, a lot of the news that we get is highly wrong, flat out lies, and propaganda, and not truth filled at all. And it's just pretty much trash at this point because they're not reporting on topics of substance that the American people deserve to know. I'm going to be talking about the nationwide trucker and farmer strike that's happening right now across Mexico, central Mexico, all of Mexico. There's 16 states that are in active boycotting. They are striking, and the truckers are striking, and so the farmer workers have decided to strike alongside the truckers. So as you guys know, a lot of our food comes from Mexico. A lot of our fruits, our vegetables, our produce, fresh things, fresh goods in our stores come from Mexico. And with this strike of both the farmers and the truckers, you're going to see major disruptions in the stores as early as next week, this weekend. So if you go to the store and you're starting to see like, okay, what the heck? This is why, along with the rising diesel prices and things like that. But there's a nationwide trucker protest that's happening right now in Mexico, and they have hit, you know, major areas and port hubs where along the border where a lot of our produce come from. It's causing major highway disruptions to be shut down, supply chain worries, and crop shortages. After farmers and the truckers are striking, and so they've come together to shut this thing down. Now, this is what a protest looks like. This is what things start to look like a protest, not people gathering on a Saturday just to say that they went out and protest. Sorry, not sorry. This is ridiculous, but this is what a protest actually looks like, white people. Okay? So the truckers have been weighing negotiations with the government as freight corridors remain, under huge pressure because, like I said, they've got the whole thing shut down. You have people in the streets protesting. You've got, regular population folk protesting and siding with the truckers and the farmers. And, a lot of what's going on in Mexico will be tricking over to here. Moving over to this point of the pond. Mexico's nationwide, trucker and farmer strike has stretched into the second day, and that was as of Tuesday, but it is still in effect and it is still going on, well into the third and fourth day here, with ongoing highway blockades, mounting congestion, in and out of Mexico City, as well as central Mexico. And they've been continued disruptions to key freight corridors across the country. And this is going to cause a major disruption in your local food store, your local, department store, what have you, with goods, services, things like that. And this is not being talked about on the news at all. But yet you're going to have people go to the grocery store and find that they can't find produce, which is why I've been pushing videos to stress the importance of starting your own garden, starting your own produce area where you can get your fresh vegetables and things like that, because it's going to come a time like this where it's going to be, null and void. You're not going to be able to go to the store and get the things that you need because of things like this. And with the rising tensions within the United States. So, what began Monday, this whole thing started Monday as a coordinated protest across 20 states, and has, entered into a prolonged logistics disruption. And this is the whole point of the strike, is to cause a disruption, to have their voices be heard, not people playing around, Three Kings, Three Kings Valley March or whatever, playing around, listening to, watching Bruce Springsteen perform. Is a concert, or are we actually getting things done? This is why, white America, just shut up. Like, you're doing nothing. You're an embarrassment. You're the kind of reason as to why a lot of this stuff is popping off, because you want to stay in your privilege, but no more. People are rising up against this shit. This is what's happening. And so a lot of the transport companies and groups are signaling the strike could continue until, the federal government of Mexico delivers concrete security and relief measures. And the main reasons as to why the strikes are occurring is because, shippers are being extorted by these criminal gang groups within Mexico. And they're also, these protests and the strikes are due to rising diesel prices and operating costs, and the lack of effective, great response to the security concerns to a lot of the individuals who are within the shipping industry, and a lot of individuals have been having their cargo stolen. So cargo theft and, from violent, robberies. This is the reason why these individuals, both farmers and truckers alike, are striking, because there's nothing being done regarding these important issues of these workers. And so there have been nationwide protests, and it's been reported at least 13 to 16 states again are actively involved. I will go over a couple of names. Some of them I can't pronounce, so I'm not going to even try. Veracruz, Sinaloa, Chihuahua, Tamaulipas, and Baja California. These are major hubs to which we get our food and our vegetables and things like that. And it's going to be hitting here. Sooner or later, it will be hitting here if it has not hit here already. Disruptions are hitting, core domestic and cross-border supply chains, including routes connecting to central Mexico, to manufacturing hubs and ports and U.S. border crossings. So this is what's happening, y'all. They're not really talking about this on the news. And, like I said, America's news at this point is null and void. They're not really giving the people really informed information. It's all propaganda. It's all lies. So I do advise individuals to get different news sources and get into independent press. I will go ahead and link this here article in the description box below so that people can go look at this article and read for themselves, because this is what's happening. The news is not reporting any of this stuff at all. And this is why I made this channel, to have people heal from the BS that's being spewed to them and to find the truth for themselves. This is what's happening. There have been protesters in the streets alongside the truckers and the farmers. They have temporarily and have been halting freight of both on, within truckers and freight rail, freight as well, and are stopping rail movements and, blocked access to major industrial facilities. This is how a protest is done. This is what a strike looks like. I don't know what the hell they're doing in America. I don't know. Like, this is just crazy. But